Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a book review on Marie Kondo's book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Now, if you haven't heard about this book, essentially, Marie Kondo is an obsessive tidier. She has figured out this method, and as far as she's concerned, it's the only way to tidy up your house. This has actually sold more than 3 million copies according to the little red sticker on the label, and I was actually recommended this by my friend Sonia, who has a YouTube channel that I'll link down below. Now, I actually already filmed this review, but I was a little bit concerned that it might have come off a little bit negative because I do have some criticisms about the book. I mean, this is a review after all, but overall I did really enjoy this. So I'm going to get started by talking about the positives, and then I'll talk about the negatives of the book. So the first thing that I really loved was her enthusiasm for tidying. It's absolutely infectious. It literally pours out of the pages. It really makes you want to go home, go through your things, and just start tidying, which is pretty much exactly what I did when I went home every single night after reading this book. So that was one of the things that I just thought was amazing, and I mean, I think it takes a lot of commitment to be so thoroughly committed to tidying as Marie Kondo is. The other thing that I found was that it was extremely difficult to put down. As soon as I started reading and flipping through the pages, I just wanted to get lost in her tidy little world. It was just one of those places, you know, I enjoy having a tidy home, and living with a boy, it's not always easy. I feel like I'm constantly tidying up after him, and then also having a staffy and then a kitten. You can imagine it's just, it creates a lot of mess. So for me, it was actually a bit of an escape to read Marie Kondo's book and read about her tidying methods, and as crazy as that might sound. One thing I really loved about the book was her concept about only keeping what sparks joy. So she would say, you know, you need to keep the things that spark joy, whatever doesn't, get rid of it. While I don't exactly agree with getting rid of everything that doesn't spark joy, I mean, a lemon squeeze that I use to squeeze the lemon juice out of lemons is so practical, but it doesn't exactly spark joy when I pull it out of the drawer. I mean, it is bright and yellow and happy, but I have it because otherwise I've got dermatitis on my hands, and if I don't have it, then I'm going to end up with peeling, bleeding fingers, which is just really unpleasant. So for me, I do kind of find that it doesn't extend to everything in the home, and I couldn't take it as literally as she seemed to be kind of preaching. But what I did think was that it does really help you to narrow down what it is that you should and shouldn't be keeping. So just say you've got that dress in your wardrobe that you really like, but it's still got its tags attached. You've had it for 12 months and you keep thinking you're going to wear it for something, but you just never do. If it doesn't spark joy when you hold it and you're not even wearing it, then why are you keeping it? Like, why are you holding on to it? And even though I've culled my wardrobe a lot, and I have done a video on culling my wardrobe and that sort of thing, I did find that by using her method, it actually helped me to get rid of a few more things that I was just hanging on to for the sake of it. The thing that I found really interesting was her actual approach to tidying. So she really suggests that you should go through all of your belongings category by category. So as opposed to going through one drawer or a cupboard, you actually go through all of the things in the same category. So just say you're going to be doing tops. You're going to go through all of your tops regardless of where they're stored. You're going to get all of them out of the house, pull them all out of wherever it is that you keep them, and then you're going to go through each item one by one. And I think this is a really interesting and unique way to actually tidy. I'd never thought about this before, but I do think that it probably does help because you can see how much you have of that particular item or category, because it's all laid out in front of you, all in the same place. So you can go, oh my god, like I didn't even realize that I had these things in the spare room or in the study or in the living room, or wherever it is that you managed to have kept multiples of the same category. So that I thought was a really great approach. And then the other thing that I really liked was her folding method. So I've actually started doing this for Luke's clothing, not necessarily for my own, because whenever he gets dressed in the weekend, I usually find that there's about 10 different t-shirts strewn across the bed, and I end up having to fold them up and put them back. And then when I open the drawer, it's a huge mess because he's been trying to find a specific t-shirt. Her method of folding, essentially you stand all of your clothes up, and it helps you to kind of identify where things are. You can see everything, and I actually think it's gonna really maintain my sanity because, yeah, I was going a little bit crazy with the constant tidying and folding and putting everything back away. So a few of my kind of criticisms of the book are that Marie Kondo comes across as really compulsive and obsessive when it comes to tidying, and she talks a lot about her youth and how she was just obsessed with tidying in her youth, and you can really see that this obsession has not disappeared at all. It's almost like she's got a bit of OCD when it comes to tidying, because she's continued to try and find a method that works the best. She's always reading through magazines, reading through catalogs, trying to figure out the best method of tidying, and now she believes she's found it, which, you know, I think there are definitely a lot of positives in her method. And yeah, that to me came across really strongly, and you can see in the way that she writes and in the way that she kind of tries to tell you how to tidy your home and tidy up your belongings as well. It does really come through, and it can be a little bit intense at times. The other thing that I hate to say is that at times she did come off as a little bit preachy and self-important. She talks a bit about how she's never ever had a client who has gone back to having a messy home. As soon as they've done her course, they have been tidy and like that forever. And I'm a little bit skeptical. I don't know if I am just a skeptic, but for me, I think that things can get on top of you. It depends on your stage in life. Like maybe she's been doing things with a couple who don't have children yet. Once they have kids, that entire dynamic is going to change. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really feel like that was necessary for her to include in the book. I mean, hey, props to her. She is unapologetic about everything that she does, and she really backs herself. So, I mean, that's also a great thing as well. So, I mean, I guess it depends on which way you want to take it. Now, there was one step in the book that I found personally really strange, and it's her method of thanking every belonging after she's used it. So she'll come home from work or wherever she's been from running errands, she'll put her bag down and she'll say thank you to her bag. And she'll pull out all of her things and put them in their little spot, and she'll say thank you to everything after she's finished using it. And her reasoning behind this is that if you thank everything after you've used it, it's going to last longer. And just say you've got a silk glass you always spill things on, you're not going to spill things on it anymore. Yeah, because you're thanking it, and that's supposedly meant to help it last longer. My personal opinion on the matter though is that if you want something to last longer, then you've got to treat it with care and respect, which is what I try to do with most of my things. You know, you don't throw your clothes on the floor, you hang them up on the hanger when you get home, you put your bags away. I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to that though, and I always forget to put the tissue paper back in them, which I really should. But you know what I mean? Like, if you want something to last and be around, you know, for a long time, you really do have to look after it and be careful with it. You have to be almost a little bit precious with your things, and that'll help them to last longer. I don't necessarily think that thanking everything after you've used it is going to help. Then the other thing is, you know, I did kind of find her whole approach a little bit extreme at times. You know, I was talking about this before, my positives on the book, where she talks about how you only keep the things that spark joy and you throw away everything else. And to me, I don't really think that's practical. There are things that are going to be in your home, like I said, that are practical but don't necessarily spark joy, and you need them to, you know, go throughout your day-to-day life, and they help you, and I don't think they need to spark joy. I think they need to be useful, and they need to help you and assist you in doing what it is that you need to do. So that was the only other thing. All in all, I highly recommend this book. I think if you haven't read it, you should pick it up, read through the pages. I think it's probably like 200. Yeah, it's just over 200 pages. It is such an easy read as well. I read this on the train every day to and from work, and I finished it within less than a week, and it was just such a nice way to start and finish my day. You know, I'd read about her order and her method, and it just really set my day, and it made it seem a little less chaotic, if that makes any sense. I also think that there are so many positive takeaways from Marie Kondo's book and her KonMari method of tidying up. While I haven't actually gone and KonMari'd my entire home yet, I did start while I was reading the book, but it's sort of fallen to the wayside a little bit now. I do think I probably will try and use some of her approaches and methods throughout the home over the Christmas break, because I'm going to have a bit of time and I can actually go through everything. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I'd love to know what you guys thought about it, if you have read this, if you have used the KonMari method in your home, whether it's been successful for you, whether there's possibly anything that I might have missed. Love to hear your thoughts. Put them down in the comments section, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't read this, I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. See you later. Bye.